Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jag, and what I have decided recently is I've been getting some requests, and I'm going to bring out content for elementary students as well. So if your son or daughter needs some help with elementary math or science, as well as even I also teach language as well, you can just email me. And again, my email is jaggy5patel@gmail.com. Alright, so with that, let's get started. Today's class is going to cover grade 8 math, and we're going to look at this really important topic on the Pythagorean Theorem, okay? For those of you who already know what it is, this will be a really good refresher. Some teachers do cover it in grade 7 math. It is in the grade 8 curriculum for mathematics. We have to make sure we remember and understand this concept really well. It does go into and carry over into grade 9 math as well. Alright, so with that, let's get started. So the Pythagorean Theorem, it basically is associated with only right angle triangles, okay? So remember, a right angle triangle has to have one angle, which is 90 degrees, okay? This is how you indicate a 90-degree angle. It's just like a really small square on one side of the triangle, okay? The slant of the triangle is actually the longest side, and this side has a very special name. It's called the hypotenuse. Okay, so I'm going to write it on the side, the hypotenuse. Okay, and so for the Pythagorean theorem, okay, there is an equation here. So I'm going to write the equation on the board. Okay, the equation is a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. Okay. And now everyone's probably wondering, Jag, what are all these letters here? Okay, so I'm going to show you on this triangle that we drew as a diagram here. So side C is actually this side, okay? The side C is the longest side of the right angle triangle, which is the hypotenuse, okay? And A and B just represents like the legs of the triangle. So I'm going to put A and B. Now, if you notice, I'm basically adding the squares of the sides A and B. So it doesn't actually matter where I write and label the A and B. I could have put the B on this side, okay? And I could have put A on the bottom for the base of the triangle. It doesn't make a difference here, okay? Because you can see that by just looking at the formula. I'm just squaring the sides and adding them together, okay? But the one that does not change is side C, okay? Side C always indicates the hypotenuse. Alright, so let's try an example here, okay? So I'll take out the hypotenuse. Okay, let's take out the 90 degrees as well. Okay, so I'm going to put some numbers in here. Okay, so let's do a simple one first. So say this side is 7 centimeters. Okay, and say the base of this triangle is 9 centimeters. And again, the teacher will give you questions where they're using decimals just to make it a little more complicated, but it is not complicated at all, okay? And I'm looking for side C here, okay? So I'm just going to label the triangle here. Let's make this side A and this side B, okay? And you should always make sure you're labeling the triangle, okay, so you don't get confused. I'm going to put it into my equation here. Okay, so A is 7, so we're going to put 7 squared. Okay, and B is 9, so I'm going to put 9 squared equals to C squared. And I can always make sure, like, I can rearrange the formula here as well. Okay, so I'm going to do, let's actually write this out first. So 7 squared is 49. Okay, and remember when you're doing 7 squared, it's not 7 times 2 here. Okay. So just as an aside, 7 squared is actually 7 times 7, okay, which is equal to 49. Okay, if it was 7 to the power of 3, I would do 7 times 7 times 7, okay, 3 times. And so right here, we're doing 9 squared, so 9 times 9, so this is 81, equals to C squared, okay? And I'm actually going to just write the equation the other way around so we can see it. Okay, so C squared, I'm going to add 49 and 81, and you could just use your calculator here. We're getting 130, okay? And this is equal to C squared, so it's not the side of C yet. What we're going to do is you're going to press the square root button on your calculator, and this is how it looks. Okay, it's just like a little bit of a line with a curve on it, and you're going to press that button and then 130, and we're getting 11.4. Make sure you're checking the units. Okay, all the other sides are in centimeters, so this is 11.4 centimeters. Okay, are there any questions? And a good way to check your answer is I'm looking at side C. You see how it's 11.4 centimeters? I have to make sure it's actually greater than each of these sides of the triangle, and which it is. Okay, side A is only 7 centimeters. Okay, side B is only 9 centimeters, and 11 is greater than both of them, so I know that my answer is correct. Okay, and so with that, let's try one more example here. Okay, so I'm going to take this off, and this time, so the teacher is going to give you a variation of this question, but I'm going to use the same formula. Okay, so let me draw a triangle. Okay, and again, the Pythagorean theorem can only be used with the right angle triangles. All right, so let's try side C here is 16 centimeters. I'm going to put A on the bottom this time because remember, it just doesn't matter. Let's do 8 centimeters, and I'm looking for B. Okay, so the variation, let me put example. The variation for this question is that I'm actually given the hypotenuse this time, which is the longest side of the triangle. Okay, I'm going to write out the equation one more time. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, what I need to remember is when the teacher gives me the hypotenuse of the triangle, which is the longest side, I'm not going to add. This time, I'm actually going to subtract, okay, the two numbers that are given to me here. So let's just take a look at the formula first. I'm going to rearrange the formula. So I'm looking for B. So I'm going to keep the B on this side. Okay? And I'm going to make an arrow to show you what I'm moving. I'm moving the A squared to the other side. Okay? So I notice that the A squared is positive, okay, on the left side of the equal sign. When I take it to the right side of the equal sign, it's going to become negative. Okay? So on this side, on the right side, I already have the C squared. Okay, and when I move over the A squared, it's going to become negative. So it'll be C squared minus A squared. Okay, does everyone see that? Are there any questions? So I would actually make sure that I am rearranging the formula first, okay, before I actually plug in the numbers. Okay, because it's a little bit easier, you can see, right? Okay, so let's plug it in here. Okay, so the C value is 16. So I'm going to do 16 squared, okay, minus 8 squared, okay? And that's the value for A here. And make sure you show all of your steps, okay, until the very end. Some teachers are picky, okay, when you get to this stage, they want to see all your steps. So I'm going to put one step in between here, so 256, okay, and minus 64. Okay, and in this step I could just subtract it on my calculator. Okay, we're getting 192. Okay, for B squared. So one more time, this is B squared. This is not the value of B. I'm going to press on the square root sign, okay, on my calculator. So I'm taking the square roots of 192. And when you're finding the side, it's okay if you're just rounding it to 1 decimal. So here we're going to round it to 13.9 centimeters. Okay? And again, if it's not an exact decimal, I can always round it to a whole number. The question in the textbook will usually be very specific. Okay? It might say round your answer to the nearest tenth. Okay? So when it says the nearest tenth, I would be rounding it to 1 decimal. All right? And again, because there will be a lot of application questions, which are basically word problems associated with the Pythagorean theorem, I have to make sure I have a concluding sentence. So it should be a therefore statement. So therefore, the length of side B is 13.9 centimeters. Okay, and write it as a therefore statement. Okay, so I would write it like this. Okay, let's put therefore the length of, okay, like this, side B is 13.9 centimeters. Okay, and this is the therefore sign. It's basically just like 3 dots like this. Okay, and the teacher doesn't mind if you do that. I don't need to write out the word therefore. Okay, this is a shorthand form of writing it out. All right. So basically this video covered the Pythagorean Theorem. Again, it's a very important topic. It is in the grade 8 mathematics curriculum, and then it carries on over to grade 9. Alright, so if there are no questions, it brings this video to an end. Make sure you are liking the video and hit on the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. And again, I'm going to bring out more content associated with grade 7, grade 8 math, as well as science. And if you have any questions, make sure you are just emailing me and I will get back to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Bye!